Welcome back. I'm Dr. Anthony Scardino. I'm here with my good friend Chris Musto, who's running for the Assembly in the 36th District. And we're here to talk about school initiatives and safety. When it comes to the overall economy and things we might need to do to inject, you know, uh, whether it be fiscal responsibility or to be a little bit more clear about how we could create opportunities for people, how do you see that being part of your vision?
Well, thank you, Anthony. I see our state as the highly taxed state in the country. So not only do we have the highest property taxes, but we have the highest income tax rate. We also have the highest business tax rate. We have a very prohibited system for businesses, small businesses in particular. There's restrictions, there's environmental restrictions, and there's regulatory restrictions that keep people from creating business and maintaining their businesses. One of the first legislative bills that I'd like to pass is to reduce the business tax rate in the state. Right now, the highest rate is 11.5%. We need to cut that in half. For property taxes, we're going to need to cap property taxes for our veterans and for elderly, and look at other ways to reduce property taxes across the state. Again, we have the highest property tax rate in the country. And as far as income tax rate, I think that will, if we can cut some of those tax rates and the tax brackets, we can bring those taxes down, inject a lot of money back into our economy. As far as schools are concerned, schools are a big part of our tax bill and our tax burden. The tax funding formula across the state is very flawed. 18 districts across the state make up 50% of the state's aid. They receive 50% of the state's aid. That means that 22% of the total student population get 50% of the state's aid. We need to level that out across the state. As far as other economic impacts, we need to inject into our school systems other plans for kids and students who are not going to attend college. We're lacking in trades, we're lacking in skilled labor in the workforce in New Jersey, and I think there should be a plan with the help of the legislature to bring in unions to schools so that we can help those unions to interact with our school kids and our graduating seniors, even juniors, and help them to learn trades. So when they're ready to graduate as a senior, and they're not going to look to move on to college, they can look to move on to get involved in a trade: plumbing, electricity, carpentry. There's some great jobs out there, and not every kid's going to go to college. That's what I hope to try to push forward if I get elected to the legislature.
Can you tell us a little bit more about not only some of the things you've worked on, but where you see it being impactful here in the 36th District?
I think the 36th District is unique in the fact that we're extremely dense in our population. And we have a lot of concerns, law enforcement concerns such as stolen vehicles, burglaries to homes. We have a sanctuary status in New Jersey that we need to tackle. And I think for way too long, our law enforcement have not been respected, and they've lost a lot of funding. So I look to bring back funding and training, and for our retired public employees, the cost of living adjustments that they have not been able to receive in the last 10 to 12 years. I also look to bring back training for first responders. As we can see with recent events throughout the country, things happen quickly and in an emergency fashion, and we need to have the best trained first responders around.
Thank you again, Chris. Really insightful, really thoughtful, and strong initiatives that I think could be very applicable. I'm Dr. Anthony Scardino. Thanking you for joining us. We'll see you again at our next round of conversation.